Let's start by setting the stage. Today, we're talking about Scrum versus Waterfall. Two very different ways of managing projects. Both aim to get work done effectively, but they follow completely different mindsets. We'll explore how Scrum compares to Waterfall, how it relates to other Agile methods, and what values make Scrum truly stand out. By the end, you'll clearly understand why so many teams have moved from the old, rigid approaches to something more adaptive, flexible, and human, like Scrum. Understanding the two approaches. So, first things first, what are we comparing? Waterfall is the traditional approach. It's a linear method. You start at the top, move through each phase, and finish at the bottom. You plan everything up front, then design, build, test, and deliver at the end. It's neat, predictable, but not very forgiving when things change. Scrum, on the other hand, is iterative and flexible. Instead of one long straight journey, Scrum breaks work into short, manageable cycles called sprints. Every sprint gives the team a chance to deliver something real, get feedback, and improve the next round. You could say Waterfall is like a relay race. One person hands off to the next, while Scrum is like a team running together, adjusting their pace as they go. Waterfall at a glance. Let's take a closer look at Waterfall. In a Waterfall project, everything follows a strict order. You gather all the requirements, design the full solution, build it, test it, and then deliver the final product. Each phase has to finish completely before the next one starts. That structure makes planning straightforward. Everyone knows what comes next. But there's a catch. If something changes halfway through, it's hard to go back. You can't easily revisit the design once you're deep into the build phase. It's like building a house. You wouldn't redesign the foundation once the walls are up. That's why Waterfall works best when requirements are stable and well understood from the start. But in fast-moving industries, where customer needs change quickly, this approach can feel too rigid. Scrum at a glance. Now let's talk about Scrum. Scrum takes a completely different approach. Instead of one long project, you work in short bursts of focused effort, called sprints, usually lasting 2 weeks. In each sprint, the team plans, builds, tests, and delivers something usable. That means value reaches the customer early, not months later. And because feedback comes fast, the team can adjust direction quickly. If something isn't working, you fix it in the next sprint instead of waiting for a post-mortem at the end. Scrum teams are cross-functional, meaning they have all the skills needed to deliver results without waiting on other departments. They're also self-organizing. They decide together how to get the job done. So where Waterfall says, plan once and stick to it, Scrum says, plan small, learn fast, and adapt. Key differences. Process. Let's compare their processes side by side. In Waterfall, work flows in one direction, step by step, from planning to delivery. It's predictable, but it doesn't handle change very well. If new information appears, it's often too late to react without disrupting the entire plan. In Scrum, the flow is cyclical. Work is broken into small chunks that loop through planning, execution, review, and improvement, again and again. Each sprint is a chance to inspect progress and adapt the next steps. Waterfall is like drawing a straight line. Scrum is like drawing loops that move forward one step at a time. The loops take a bit more effort, but they make sure you're always moving in the right direction. Let us discuss about key differences, team and roles. Next, let's look at how teams work. Waterfall teams are usually hierarchical. There's a project manager at the top who makes most of the decisions. Work is divided by specialty. Analysts, designers, developers, and testers, often working separately. Scrum teams work differently. They're cross-functional and self-organizing. That means everyone shares responsibility for outcomes, not just their own tasks. Scrum has 3 key roles. The product owner, who represents the customer and defines what's most valuable. The ScrumMaster, who supports the team, removes obstacles, and keeps the process smooth. The development team, who actually build and deliver the product. Instead of command and control, Scrum runs on communication and collaboration. Everyone is accountable, and everyone's voice matters. Now let's talk about key differences, delivery and feedback. Here's another major difference: when and how value is delivered. In Waterfall, customers typically see the final product only at the end. If the project takes 6 months, they might wait 6 months before they can test or use it. That delay means feedback arrives late, and any changes are expensive. In Scrum, customers get something new every sprint, maybe every 2 weeks. They can use it, test it, and give feedback immediately. That feedback shapes the next sprint, so the product evolves with the customer's needs. Scrum thrives on this constant dialogue between the team and the customer. That's what makes it so adaptable and user-focused. Scrum versus other Agile frameworks. Now, where does Scrum fit among other Agile methods? Agile is the overall philosophy, the belief that collaboration, adaptability, and feedback lead to better results. Scrum is one way to live out those values, but it's not the only one. Kanban focuses on continuous flow, visualizing work and limiting what's in progress. Extreme programming, XP, focuses on technical excellence, things like test-driven development and constant integration. Lean focuses on efficiency, removing waste, and maximizing customer value. Scrum sits right in the middle, a balance between structure and freedom. It gives teams enough guidance to stay organized, but leaves room for creativity and improvement. That's why Scrum became the most widely used Agile framework in the world. Scrum Values. Let's talk about what makes Scrum more than just a process. Its values. There are 5 Scrum values: commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect. Commitment means every team member is dedicated to the sprint goal and the success of the group. Courage means being brave enough to speak up, try new things, and face problems directly. Focus means staying aligned with the sprint goal, not getting distracted by outside noise. Openness means being transparent about progress, challenges, and ideas. And respect means valuing everyone's contribution and trusting each other to do their best. When teams truly live by these values, Scrum becomes more than a framework. It becomes a culture of learning, collaboration, and growth. Why Scrum wins. So why do so many teams choose Scrum over Waterfall? Because Scrum embraces change. It encourages collaboration instead of control. It delivers value early and continuously, and it builds a team environment where people feel empowered to solve problems together. Waterfall has its strengths. It works when things are stable and predictable. But in most modern industries, things change too fast. Scrum gives teams the tools and mindset to adapt, learn, and thrive. In the end, Scrum isn't about managing work. It's about enabling people to do their best work. Let's wrap it up. Waterfall is plan-driven. You design the whole thing, then deliver once. Scrum is feedback-driven. You deliver often, learn fast, and keep improving. Both have value, but Scrum is built for environments where learning and change are constant. And behind all its processes and roles, Scrum's greatest strength is simple. It's built on trust, teamwork, and a shared commitment to creating value. That's what makes Scrum not just a framework, but a mindset, one that continues to help teams succeed sprint after sprint.